Welcome back to another inventory series video, and today it's time to set up our crafting recipes. So let's head into our inventory folder and let's make ourselves another folder called enums. We're going to open this up and add ourselves a new blueprint enumeration called e_bench type. Just in case if you don't know what an enumerator is, it is basically where you can select a single value out of a predetermined list. So it's like a drop-down menu with one available active option, and it is very good to determine types, which we are going to use this for. So we're going to add two entries rather, called player, and the other one is going to be called primitive bench. So the first one is going to determine that this is the player's crafting, and the other one is going to be used for our external crafting bench. Obviously, you can add as many entries as you would like if you need multiple different crafting options. So once we have our bench type, we can now head into, let's go inside of our actors, data assets, and here we have our DA base item. So our data asset for our items, we're going to create the same thing for our crafting recipes. So we're going to right click, go to blueprint class, all classes, and we're going to look for a data asset, and we're going to use the primary data asset class. I'm going to call this DA_base craft recipe, and let's open this up and set up the variables for our recipes. Now we're going to need 4 variables for now. The first one is going to be our input items, which is going to be an inventory slot structure type, and is going to be an array so that we can provide multiple items. So these are going to be the items that are needed to perform the crafting. And then the second variable is going to be our output item, which is going to be again the inventory slot structure, but in this case I'm going to have a single variable. So this is going to be the item that we are actually trying to craft using our input items. The next variable is going to be the craft time, which is going to be a float value. So how long does it take for this crafting to happen? And then the last one is going to be our newly created bench type, which is our bench type enumerator. And you can see on the default values, this is how it looks like, the drop-down menu. It doesn't really matter the default value. We're going to set this up individually for every single one of our recipes. Now, before we can actually set up the recipes, we need the items that we are actually going to be able to craft. Right now, we only have 2 items. So I'm actually going to go inside of my items folder, and I'm going to add a few more items. So we're going to go in the miscellaneous data asset. We're going to select our DA base craft. You can also see our crafting recipe over here as well. But first, let's set up the items that we're going to actually be able to craft. So I'm going to have DA_item_knife. I'm going to do this real quick because, well, I already explained this bit in the first episode, how to add items. So we're just going to do this quickly. So I have tools, icons, and previously I checked, I have an 09 that looks like a saw. So that's going to be close enough. For the mesh, I do have a knife mesh inside of the village pack. This is going to be non-stackable and max stack size 0. Then I'm going to add another item real quick. So data asset, base item, DA_item_pan. And this is going to be our pan. Tools, I will use the 08 icon. It's a bell that looks closest I got to a pan, and I have a pan mesh in the village pack as well. So we have 2 items. So we're going to be able to craft these at some point once we have the UI as well. We're not going to have UI in this video. And so now it's time to set up the recipes. So inside of our data assets folder, I'm going to make another folder called crafting. Let's call this craft recipes. And then inside of the craft recipes, I'm going to go to miscellaneous data asset. And in this case, I'm going to select my DA base craft recipe. I'm going to call this DA_craft_knife. And let's set this up. So this is exactly the same way as we did for our item, just different variables. So our input items, I'm going to do 2. Obviously, you can do as many as you like. You can do 1, you can do 7. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to do, let's say, paper 1. And then we're going to need planks, let's say 3 planks. 2. Have an output item, which is going to be, in my case, let's say a knife and a quantity of 1. Crafting time, let's say it's going to take 3 seconds, and this is the bench type is going to be our player crafting. So this is going to be for our knife. Then I'm going to go another miscellaneous data asset, DA base craft recipe called DA underscore craft underscore pan. Again, I'm going to have two input items. So we're going to have paper, let's say 2 papers, and planks, let's say we're going to have 5. The output item in this case is going to be our pan. Again, the quantity of 1. So we're going to craft 1 pan. Crafting time, let's say 4 seconds. And this one is going to be our primitive bench craft type. So we have our 2 recipes set up. Now let's go ahead and let's go back inside of our inventory folder. Let's go inside of the structures and let's create a new structure. So I'm going to right click, do blueprint structure. I'm going to do s underscore current craft. And this one will need 2 variables. So this is going to be our crafting queue, essentially. So we're going to have a recipe, which is our newly created DA base craft recipe to know what we are currently crafting. And also we're going to have a progress. So how far into the crafting operation we are right now. So we have a time that says, let's say it is 4 seconds to craft an item. And we need a float variable to keep tabs on it. So how much longer we still need for this action to be performed, for the craft to be done. So we have our current craft structure. Now we can head into our components folder and actually finally create our blueprint class actor component called crafting component. Inside of our crafting component, we're going to have quite a few variables, so let's start adding those. The first one is going to be our linked inventory, which is going to be our inventory component. Now every single one of my benches will have a inventory linked to them, and that is the inventory that the crafting component is going to be using. In our player's case, well, it is going to be our player's inventory component. Then let's add another variable called available recipes, and this is going to be our DA base craft recipe data asset and an array, so that we can store multiple recipes in this one variable. And then the next one is going to be bench type, which is our bench type enumerator, and this one is going to be a single variable. Then we're going to also have is crafting to know whether we are crafting right now, which is going to be a Boolean value, so true or false. And then the next one is going to be our crafting timer, which is going to be a timer handle variable. This basically will trigger and allow us to stop and start the crafting timer so that we don't have to use the event tick. But also, to have a timer, we need a time whenever it loops, and basically like a delta time. So we're going to call this craft delta, just like the event tick has. And this is going to be a float value. So it's basically like a refresh rate for how often the crafting timer runs its function. And then also we're going to have a crafting queue, which is going to be our current craft. Where is it? I misspelled it. Current craft. Okay, so current craft array. And let me real quick just rename this to current. There we go. So we have our current craft. We have all the variables set up. Now let's go ahead and let's link the inventory component to this inventory component. So on a begin play event, we're going to go ahead and grab our linked inventory variable and set it. Now, how do we get the linked inventory? We're going to do right click, get owner, which is going to return us a component owner. So for example, we're going to attach this crafting component to a actor or to a bench or to a player, and that is going to be the owner, the bench or the player. They will have a inventory component. So from this return value, we can do a get component by class to return us the inventory component, and then we can plug that in like so. So we have our inventory linked now. The next thing is to gather up all the crafting recipes. So we're going to right click, do get assets by path. It doesn't pop up, so uncheck your content sensitive and you should get assets by path node like this. Then for the target, we're going to use a get asset registry. There we go. And this will basically gather up the assets in a single array. Now our task is to define the path to those assets so it doesn't go through all the project. We only need specific assets. So we're going to look in a specific folder. So let's go back to our content folder. So our recipes are in inventory, actors, data assets, craft recipes. So I'm going to select this path right here. I'm going to copy this string and paste it over inside of our package path. So it brings us to the folder where our crafting recipes are. Now later, once you have a bunch of crafting recipes, you will probably have subfolders to group up the recipes, which makes sense. So you can actually find something in your project once it grows. By default, this node will not return information from those subfolders. So once you add your subfolders, make sure you check the recursive so it looks through the subfolders as well. For now, I'm going to leave it off, but make sure that you remember this, that you need to set it up like that with that Boolean value set to be true. You could set it up to be true at this point as well. Now, it has gathered up all the recipes, all the actors inside of this folder. So we're going to do loop for each. Let's do content sensitive. There we go. So for each loop, this is going to go through all the assets that it managed to find in the folder. From here, we need to do a get asset so that it would return us a object reference so we can actually get the crafting information, because we need to check the bench type to know whether this specific crafting component is actually allowed to craft said item. So once we have the object reference, we can do cast to base craft recipe, and from here now we are able to get the bench type for that specific crafting recipe, and we can check if it is equal to the bench type that is inside of our crafting component. So we can compare these two using an equals node. Use the top one over here from the utilities and do an if branch check on this condition. Now, if it is true, that means that the crafting types, the bench types do match. So we can grab now our available recipes array and add a new entry to this to store this specific crafting recipe for this bench, or for this crafting component rather. And the input is our cast to nodes, the return value of our crafting recipe, like this. Now, as of right now, we don't have any UI, so we can't really test what it actually gave back to us. So let's make a small little debug. So once we are done with our loop that loops through all of the assets that they found in this folder, on the completion, we're going to grab our available recipes. We're going to do a loop for each through this array. So once we have built it up, we're going to go through it. And on loop body, we're simply going to just print a string. And this string is going to be our array element, and therefore this is going to print out the name of the data asset. Now, we actually need to launch this because our crafting component isn't attached to anything as of right now. So we're going to head into first person, blueprint, first person character. At least in my example, I'm using just a regular first person character. And I'm going to add a crafting component. Now, once you select your crafting component inside of your first person character or whatever character, make sure that the bench type is set to player for now. Hit play, and you should instantly see on the top left, or if you open console, DA craft knife. So that was a recipe for our player. Now let's swap this bench type real quick to a primitive bench. And now this should give us the pan. There we go. We have a pan. And now I'm going to swap this back to player because this is going to be our player crafting. And then the bench type, primitive bench, is going to be used for our external crafting workshops. So that is going to be it for this episode. We have set up our crafting recipes, and in the next episode, well, we're going to continue, add a bunch of functions, and then we're going to work on our UI. So thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I see you in the next one.